Welcome back, viewers, to our channel, your channel, usena.unique.agric.solutions. Today, we are going to compare housing and stocking. Sometimes you might have $1 billion wallet, but $1 inside that wallet, or you can have an old-fashioned wallet with $1 billion. What I'm saying, you can have $1 billion poultry house, a well-fancy poultry house, but with only 2 beds or a few or no stocking density. Or you'd rather have an old-fashioned house, a cheaper one, but you are fully loaded. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, and then we tell you which is the most effective way of doing business.
So we need to focus on how a farmer can improve, or how a farmer, especially those startup businesses, those startup farmers, may not need to utilize much on infrastructure, but however needs to focus more on the stocking density, or I can say to focus more on the stock, the quality of stock, other than the quality of their infrastructure. Yes, we all know that we need a standardized poultry structure, but like I said, we cannot have $1 million poultry structure with only 2 beds, but however you can have a simple structure with 1 million beds. So you only need to consider certain characteristics of a poultry house, the basic characteristics of a poultry house. Okay, sorry about the noise, it's a bit windy today, so bear with me. So you need to have a structure that does not allow a lot of wind to go into your poultry house. So generally, if you are in the southern hemisphere, like in Zimbabwe, you need your poultry house should face the east-west. So what I'm saying is should face east-west. I mean the width side, that is the shortest side, should be on the eastern side and then on the western side. That's rule number 1. Again, the eastern side, those eastern sides should be built up to the top. We receive most of our rains or winds from those 2 points. They are harsh winds, so we'll be protecting those harsh winds to come into our poultry house. Why it should be built on up to the top? We know the direct sunlight. We'll be avoiding direct sunlight as the sun rises and as it dawns. It should run along our building, so that's why we need to build it. You don't have to be worried much on what material you use, but I advise, if you can use zinc sheets. So the only material you can use is the material that does not harbor especially the parasites, those foul tampons, so that they won't harbor within the crevices. So you can use iron sheets, but if you can find bricks, yes, you can use the bricks, but you can use anything that is cheaper to you and that is affordable, so that you won't spend much of your money building the poultry house, and then you have a few stocking density. I think you are now getting the point. So like I said, you need to build it to the roof. You have prevented splashing in of water, you have prevented the sun, and also you have prevented those heavy winds. Also, your width should not be more than 10 meters. That will allow good air circulation, but if it exceeds that, it means there is no good air circulation. And also you can go as far as you can if you have a forced ventilation, like if you are improved. But remember, for now we are talking of simple poultry structures, so we are not going to talk of going more than 10 meters. And then on your lens side, the lens side, you can go as far as you can, and also the lens side should be built even 50 centimeters on average, that is half a meter from the ground. So you can use those iron sheets, like on this picture you see there are some iron sheets, or you can use bricks like we have here. So we have some bricks, so you can use what is easily available to you. Please don't build a very expensive poultry house where you cannot stock enough for that house. Okay, you also need to have a mesh wire on the pillars to hold the mesh wire. And if your poultry house is that big, you can use for the cheaper ones, you can use those campos, the poles, metal poles if you can afford, but the cheaper ones you can use the campos. And then you can go up to even building a concrete building. So you decide. So generally what I'm trying to say is I'm giving a picture on what you need to do. You don't need to force yourself to build a structure that is expensive to you. You need a structure even that is cheaper to you and that can accommodate more beds. So on the height now, I advise to go above 2.4 meters, especially on the lower side. This will reduce the chances of excessive heat stress. Also, as you know that the iron sheets, mostly these are they are the cheapest, not the cheapest, but they're cheaper way of roofing, but they are affected mostly by the heat. So you need to be aware of that, so that your poultry house will not be affected much by the heat. Also, you can use some ceiling. The cheapest way of putting ceiling, you can just need some saga bags, empty bags. You tie them together and then you put them to the roof. That would be your ceiling. So you need to do as much cheap as you can, so that you won't use more on building the structures. I'm telling you, yes, you can improve as you go, as you need the permanence of but if you can manage to build a very expensive house and then you stock it, yes, you can do that. But on this one, I'm saying you need to build as cheaper as you can, but you need to stock as many as you can. So you need to spend most of your money in stocking, and then you need to spend less in the building, but the structure should be a standard one in terms of protection of the birds, especially to the outside environment. Also, I've talked about the height, I talked about the length and the width. So that are the general specifications of our poultry house. So that is what I have for you today. Please stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell. We will come again with more and more videos, so that we will let you know more about farming. If you have anything you want to learn, please email us, or you can call us on the number that is below on the description. And also before I forget, we are to launch a Roadrunner Breeder Association in Zimbabwe. So we need you guys, we need everyone to participate in this, so that we have a good association, so that we can support the meat industry or the poultry industry, the Roadrunner industry in Zimbabwe, as we all know that we have a deficit in the supply of Roadrunners. Stay tuned for the next episode. Goodbye.